Hello, this is Dr. Jim Swaffield. In this course, you have learned that consumers buy to satisfy needs that exist within them. You have also learned that marketers want to differentiate between those who are the most likely to buy their products and those who are the least likely to buy. But what is yet to be learned is the methods and the procedures that marketers use to discover consumer needs, attitudes, and preferences. How marketers learn about their customers and their needs, attitudes, and preferences is through the process of marketing research. Marketing research is also used to test how much consumers like new products and how they will respond to advertising messages. On the surface, it looks like marketing research should be easy to conduct. It looks like all you need to do is survey consumers and ask what they like and what they don't like. Well, the truth is, it's not that simple. When good research methods and data collection procedures are used, the information collected can help managers make good decisions. But when flawed research methods are used, and when managers make decisions based on flawed data, disasters can happen. Management decisions based on poor research can cause companies to lose millions of dollars and can sometimes even lead to bankruptcy. Consider this marketing blunder. In 2019, the razor company Gillette ran a commercial called "The Best a Man Can Be." In this commercial, Gillette tried to piggyback off the Me Too movement. They designed a commercial that implied that men suffer from a condition called toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity supposedly promotes an attitude that it is acceptable for boys to act like bullies and for men to harass women. Gillette implied if you were a man, you were guilty. Gillette's male customers were insulted and outraged. It is reported that the 6 months following this campaign, Gillette lost over $3.5 million in sales. Later that year, Gillette's parent company, Procter & Gamble, was reported to have experienced a decrease in the company's value by $8 billion. Here's the point. If Gillette had used better research methods to pilot test this commercial, it is likely they could have avoided this marketing disaster. This highlights the main function of marketing research. Marketing research, if done properly, can provide data and insights that help managers understand who their customers are, how they think, and what needs they aim to satisfy. This research helps marketing managers improve the decision-making process because their decisions are based on objective data rather than on the manager's best guess. Next, we are going to have a look at the steps in the marketing research process. I will begin with an analogy. Imagine that a patient goes to the doctor and says, "I have a pain in my stomach." Before the doctor can prescribe an appropriate treatment plan to fix the problem, they need to objectively define what is causing the pain. The doctor does not want to make a wrong diagnosis because if they do, the treatment plan they prescribe will not fix the problem. To help diagnose the problem, the doctor may need to do some research to help make an accurate diagnosis. To do this, the doctor sends the patient to the lab to get a blood test and then to a radiologist to get an X-ray taken. If the results confirm the doctor's suspicions, a treatment plan can be prescribed. If the results are inconclusive, the doctor will have to do more research and send the patient for additional tests. Now imagine that an organization is the patient. Typical organizational pains can include decreasing sales, a loss of market share, not understanding changes in the consumer's attitudes, and not knowing whether a company's advertising messages are being seen by their target market. The marketer's and the doctor's situation are similar. In the beginning, both the doctor and the marketer know that there is a problem, but neither understand the cause of the problem. Likewise, if the marketing manager does not clearly understand the problem, they will not be able to prescribe a solution to remedy the problem. Like the doctor, the marketing manager needs to first do some research to identify the cause of the problem. If they don't conduct research, they will be making decisions based on guessing. This brings us to the first stage of the marketing research process. A good research study begins by clearly defining the research question or the problem that the research aims to examine. So, as shown here, stage 1 is define the research problem. You could also put in this box, define the research question. The terms question and problem can be used interchangeably. Think about it like this. When a doctor sends a patient to get some x-rays taken, they don't just send in a requisition to the radiologist and say, "Hey, could you take some x-rays for me?" The referring doctor tells the radiologist exactly what they should be looking for. For example, they might state on the x-ray requisition, "Please x-ray the metatarsal bones of the patient's right foot." The marketing manager needs to do exactly the same thing. The marketing manager needs to state explicitly what the researcher should be looking for. For example, rather than making a general statement such as, "We want to know what is causing a decrease in sales," it's better to develop a focused research question that examines one or two variables that are associated with a company's level of sales. A focused research question might be, how does the target market perceive our company's level of service quality? Or, what percentage of our target market can remember seeing an advertisement for our product? The second stage of the research process is to design the research plan. The research plan is a document that describes the proposed methods that will be used to investigate the research question. Typical research models that could be used include conducting personal interviews, running focus groups, administering opinion surveys, conducting observational research, which refers to watching how people behave during activities such as shopping for groceries, and finally, a research model can also involve the use of experiments. A research plan also describes when and where the study will be conducted. And lastly, a research plan includes an outline of how the researchers will go about collecting the data. If the study involves interviewing people, it will also include a description of the questions that will be asked and how the participants will be selected and how many participants they want to recruit for the study. Stage 3 is showtime. Stage 3 is when the researchers implement the study and collect the data. In this stage, the participants are asked to respond to survey questionnaires, to participate in focus groups, or to be a subject in an experiment. Sometimes the data collection process can be quick, and the data can be collected within a few hours. Other times, the data collection process can take months to complete. The data collection stage can also be the most expensive stage because it often involves hiring a team of people to run the study. In addition, there can also be expenses such as transportation and hotel costs if the researchers need to travel to different places to meet with the study participants. Once the research study has been implemented, the data collected needs to be analyzed and organized in a manner that can help answer the research question that was stated in step 1. Thus, the fourth stage is called the data analysis stage. There are many ways that the data can be summarized. For example, quantitative data can be summarized with descriptive statistics such as the average or mean of the group. Median, mode, and standard deviation are also ways to summarize the data. Each data analysis method used for summarizing the data has strengths and limitations. For this reason, researchers often use multiple methods for analyzing the data so they can develop a comprehensive understanding of what the data is saying. While there are many different methods for analyzing the data, researchers want to use the methods that enable them to answer the original research question. Once the data has been analyzed and organized into a form that provides meaningful insights, we then move on to the final stage of the research process called Determine the Action Plan. In the Determine the Action Plan stage, we summarize the study findings for the management team in the form of a report. Therefore, sometimes this stage is called Write the Report stage. The main purpose of this research report is to provide information that answers the research question that was stated in step 1 of the research process. For example, if the research question was, "What do consumers think of our service quality?" the report will provide an answer to this question. Research reports usually include an overview of the objectives of the original research question that the study was designed to answer. It also includes a summary of the methods used to collect the data, a summary of the study's findings, and whether the findings help to answer the original research question. Finally, every research study has limitations. Any limitations that could influence the interpretation of the study's results should be mentioned. For example, if the participants of a study were mostly teenagers, you may not be able to infer that adults would share the same beliefs and attitudes or respond in the same manner. You should mention this in the limitations section of this report. Now that you have a basic understanding of the marketing research process, we will conclude this lesson with a definition of marketing research. Marketing research is defined as a set of techniques and principles for systematically collecting, recording, analyzing, and interpreting data that can aid decision makers involved in making goods, services, or ideas. By following the process outlined here, researchers will improve the quality of the information obtained. This in turn will help managers make wise decisions and increase the likelihood that the company will develop a successful marketing strategy.